What's going on, YouTube? It's your man Army Vet Collections back with another video. Today's topic is going to be on NBA veteran legends rookie cards. Um, in the world of collecting, one of the things you want to try to do is you want to try to collect cards that have some value and some quote unquote hot or it factor as they come into the league. And a lot of times that's hard to do if it's not a mega star coming up through the high school ranks or AAU basketball and then have a heavy following behind them. You can do that today a lot easier because we have things like YouTube or things like social media platforms where younger players can get out there and market themselves before they get big college programs or international basketball play or even early careers in the NBA or the G League. But back in the day of some of these veterans that I have before you, that wasn't available. So what you had to do is you had to try to scout or use word of mouth or use any type of footage you could get from TV games, so to speak, to find out who was hot. And then you have to kind of track those careers and see what the trajectory is going to be on who's healthy enough, who has a following, who the teams in the league starts to market. So, for example, one of those players would be like a Stephon Marbury. Stephon Marbury was a player that came out of college highly touted for supreme skill, and he was one of those guards from New York that had handle, he had flair, he had excitement to his game, and he came in and immediately started to pack arenas with his flashy style of play and overall effectiveness. But he had some stumbles in his NBA career and ended up having to go and bounce around different teams, and he ended up playing over in China, where he ultimately became a champion in that league several times over and a mega star. So a rookie card like this, while maybe not as desired in the United States, I believe its international appeal and marketability is going to surge one day because of the fact that he won so many championships in China. So that was my thought process on collecting this card. I thought that at some point in time, there's going to be somebody from China or somewhere over in Asia that says, hey, Steph Marbury was a champion over here, so this card is going to grow value. So I'll hold on to this one and just see what happens. And this is a Fleer 96-97 Ultra Encore Rookie. And I do have the card in my hands, which is a no-no for anybody who's a serious collector, but that's just for video purposes. This is a number 272. So this is kind of some of the thought process on collecting when you get out there and you start to grab cards and add them to your collection. Shawn Kemp, obvious reason why I got this one. They've started things like Dunk League and Ultimate Dunkers that are starting to grow. Those type of shows are really becoming hot. So as those shows become hot, players like Vince Carter and Shawn Kemp that were dunk gods are going to be supremely valued going in the future because of their impact on the world of dunking. So Shawn Kemp rookie is a must-have because the dunking world in basketball is going to develop legs of its own. It's going to become its own separate genre from the sport. So look out for those guys that had great moments in dunking that elevated the game on that level. Allen Iverson. What more can you say about Allen Iverson? Otherwise known as the answer. The league was starting to slump as Michael Jordan got a little older, and everybody was wondering who was up next. Well, in a small frame, which I don't even believe to be 6'2", but as fast as a rabbit, supreme athleticism, and just a toughness that you can't teach. It has to be instilled in you. He was, I guess, the up-and-coming star after the Jordan era and the dominance by the Chicago Bulls. There's really not a whole lot to say about AI. AI's dominance was just evident in his gameplay, and he's having a resurgence in his career. He's doing a lot of interviews and a lot of his takes on the NBA during his time and how he would fare in today's game. So as Allen Iverson gets put in front of the cameras a lot more, that has to mean more value. They're also relaunching his sneaker with some collabs recently. So that tells me that AI is about to start booming. He's going to surge soon. So you got to have AI in your collection, especially if you can get your hands on a rookie. One of the most dominant players in NBA history, Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq is everywhere. He's on everything. He's marketing everything. His basketball play speaks for itself. but its business moves are resurging his value in his cards. Shaq is selling everything from pizza to drinks to health programs. I even saw him in a Corvette with the General peddling insurance. So Shaq is always going to have value. You got to have him, especially if you can get your hands on a rookie. And this last one I'm going to talk about is somebody that I think is near and dear to everyone's heart due to the recent tragedy to him and his family. Kobe Bean Bryant. Kobe's impact on the game is just legendary. He's one of the few players that was, I guess, touted to be the next Jordan, but actually lived up to some of that hype. I mean, played the game similar to Jordan, had that dog in him that just still to this day is not, I guess, imitated. He developed an intensity for the game that was so thorough and so strong and so unique that they labeled it Mamba mentality. And still to this day, players in other sports, when they lock in and get serious and decide to go ahead and dominate, they call it activating the Mamba mentality. So when you can create an intensity level that's all your own and it gets named after you, I mean, what more can you say? So, much respect to Kobe and his family. He'll truly be missed. And the value on anything with Kobe's name on it is just going to go through the roof. So if you're collecting and you don't have something of Kobe Bryant in your collection, then I'm telling you now, you're making a mistake. You got to get Kobe. Anything you can get with Kobe on it, shirts, shoes, cards, anything, to not only celebrate the legacy, but also to add value into what you're collecting. Kobe Bryant, anything is just a hot commodity for anybody who's a serious collector or a novice collector. So with that being said, I think that's going to about do it for today. Don't want to go too long. I want everybody to enjoy their Sunday. Be safe. The virus is still out there attacking. And always in ending, you collect, I collect, we collect. All right, out of here. Go ahead and hit that like button and let me know what you think. And if you're out there and you're a collector and you're interested in some of the things I have, or you're willing to show some of the things you have, just hit me up. Let me know. You never know what can happen from a simple conversation. I'm Yvette, out of here.